So, the Algarve circuit on the southern tip of Portugal played host to round 5 of the Blancpain Sprint Series. The main race due to get underway. Stefan Rattel having a little chat with Antonio Herman there. But on pole position, it was the 84 Bentley of Maximilian Buch and Vincent Abril. And at the start, Abril didn't get the best getaway, but the power, Buch didn't get the best getaway, but the power of the Bentley got him the lead, John.
Yes, it was a good start by Robin Freins in the Audi on the right of screen. But again, that mid-range punch of the Bentley was sufficient just to get its nose into the front, going down into turn 1. I mean, a big squeeze coming from the Audi from left to right, well, virtual contact, and also watch the Ferrari in the outside coming, but then we see the Audi of Misano and Moscow squeezing his way through and taking that third place. A little bit of hip and shoulder, but nothing of any consequence. Certainly no complaints from Marcus Seefried.
This was the view on board with the Bentley. You see the Audi get the best start, pull past, and then the Bentley hauls himself back in, and it's so close to see. I think there was the tiniest of touches there on the run down, but it was side by side, so not too much damage. And the Bentley then began to pull clear, and it looked all under control for Maxi Buch.
Yeah, I mean, Robin Freins summed it up when we were doing the Parc Fermé interviews, was that Max Buch was on a fresh set of rubber, a new set of rubber, and then Freins was on a set that had done some laps, and that does give you an initial advantage, and Max Buch was able to open up about a 4+ second advantage over the second place Audi, up until the point where we then had the intervention, the safety car intervention for a part of the circuit that needed attention, notably a grille that is a part of the drainage system on the inside of turn 2. It got dislocated and it had to be repositioned.
Still looking at the start here, and this was the view on board the Ferrari, and there you can see the bit of contact it had with Niki Meyer-Melnhof. It was Marco Seefried at the wheel as they're all bunched up into turn 3. And that was a good start from Albert von Taxis. Did well to hold his ground there. Lost out to the ISR Audi, but then I think managed to hold the inside line going down into the hairpin and keep that place. Keep an eye on the right-hand side there. Well, he was still there or thereabouts, Albert von Taxis, as they made their way then up the hill and through 7 and 8. Then we had some great battles here with Enzo Eade and Sean Walkinshaw. Walkinshaw making the move, and he gained the position past Enzo Eade, and then we had James Nash come into the pits a lap too early. Frank Stippler said, you've got to go out and get going again. We had the safety car out, then the safety car came in. Everyone decided to come in except the Bentley, which didn't seem like a bad idea, but ultimately was kind of what cost them the race.
It was really two things. It got caught behind one of the BMWs coming into the pit, not the pit lane itself, but the entry into the pit lane rather lethargically, and that cost a couple of seconds. And then when Vincent Abril got into the car and made his maneuver to get back out onto the pit lane, onto the racetrack, the engine sort of coughed and hesitated. That cost a further couple of seconds. And once those 4 seconds had been lost, the good work done by the WRT, the number 1 Audi, was sufficient to give Laurens van Thor, a very back-on-form Laurens van Thor, the lead, and which he never was to relinquish.
Nicky Katzberg was sent spinning by Valdeno Brito, and they would then later be given a drive-through penalty. This was the view on board with Katzberg as he got spun around coming up towards turn 11. And he would end up in that same position anyway, so there wasn't too much drama there. You can see the 77 BMW getting sent back into the pits for a drive-through penalty. The 333 Rinaldi Ferrari was up into 3rd place after the pit stop of the 84 Bentley. The Bentley pushed hard, but ultimately couldn't get through, and despite closing in and getting very close at times, there was just nothing they could quite do about that Ferrari in front.
I think it's a classic case if you find yourself out of position for whatever reason, as opposed to finding yourself in the lead. It's easy to consolidate the lead. You could be lapping at the same speed potentially as the race leader, but not able to make any headway. So that was, I think, very much a case of Bentley. It was a race that the entry to the pit lane and, of course, then that difficult restart, they would have undoubtedly been in the podium. They may have been second. It's questionable whether they would have gotten ahead of the second place Winkelhock, Meyer-Melnhof Audi, but certainly on the podium.
So it was race victory for Laurens van Thor and Robin Freins. There you can see 2nd place Niki Meyer-Melnhof and Marcus Fingerlock, with the Ferrari completing the podium, and only 4th place for the Bentley of Maximilian Buch and Vincent Abril. But it's the victory for Laurens van Thor and Robin Freins here in the Algarve. Wonderful performance from them, and they extend their lead now at the top of the championship after winning in Portugal.